Another shade of household enemy is the greedy narcissist. Hello there, you're highly welcome to my channel. Lovely moments with me, your one and only Adabugo here. You know, we do lovely things, we learn from each other. I learn from you, you learn from me. We help ourselves, we make our world a better place. It's all about adding brightness to your life, to my life, and we keep moving. Okay? Thank you very much, my great Adabu guides. In case you haven't become an Adabu guide, please, it's a very simple step. How do you become an Adabu guide? Tap the subscribe button there. Tap it, tap it, tap it. Or if you're using your computer, click, click, click. Okay? After that, put on the notification bell so that anytime I release a fresh video, you won't miss out. Alright? And trust me, that you will never be disappointed, because I will always release something fresh, beautiful, that will add brightness to your life. I always appreciate you all, and I thank you for your support. So many of you have been so wonderful. You give me a lot of feedbacks. Most of you call me aside, give me tips. You watch my back, and anytime I release programs like products like Adabugo Sing Song, even though it's not the best of production or the best of performance, you all still support just to keep me going. I appreciate them all, and I trust and I promise you that the reason why you support me will never be faltered. You will never be disappointed. We can only grow higher and higher, getting better and better. Thank you very much. I have already titled today's video 5 Shades of Household Enemies. Let's see what it's all about. I was careful not to say 5 colors. I rather said 5 shades, because what I want to talk about is household enemies. So when I don't want to distinguish it like they're different. It's just one and the same. Imagine household enemies as one color. Let's say the color of blue, the color of pink, the color of red. There are different shades of red, different shades of blue, pink, ox blood, guinea, whatever. When you come to pink, baby pink, guinea. When you come to blue, sky blue, baby blue, hot blue, cold blue, up blue, down blue. There are different shades of colors. So consider, for the sake of this video now, let's see household enemies as one particular color. Then I'm going to share with you what I have observed. 5 different shades of household enemies. Stay tuned. I want you to stay tuned, because they may already be operative in your family or around your business, and you never knew, or you may already know them. So this video, these things I will say, will only confirm what you already know. However, still stay tuned, because at the end of the day, or as I'm speaking, go down in the comments and add more, because this is just what I have observed so far. It's not an exhaustive list. It's just 5. Maybe there are 10 or 20. By the time you add more, I want you to feel free to add more, because these household enemies, we can't let them be. We are out for them. We're dealing with them. So it's better for you to be on the know, because ignorance is not an excuse in the law of karma or even in justice. You have to be on the know. Yes, you may not be bad, but know the operations and operatives of bad people. Yes, you may never kill, you may never murder, you may never commit this and that. You are not a witch. You will never be a witch, practice witchcraft or cultism, but know about them, my brother, my sister, at least for you to be in the know, because the biggest weapon they use against us is ignorance. We just relax that they will be there dealing with us, because fill yourself with sufficient knowledge, know about them, so that you'll be cutting them, you'll be watching them in their tracks as they are playing their dance. You can at least understand what they're doing, and even know ahead before they throw their steps on you. Okay, let's dive in. So 5 shades of household enemies. Number 1, the covert witch. Yes, household enemies, the covert witch. She or he is a witch, confirmed witch within her, okay? But she's doing it doggedly or codedly underground. so that many family members don't even know that there is even witchcraft in that household. He or she hides. Perhaps there is not enough um, witchcraft support or from other people in the families, or maybe that's their chosen style of operation, or maybe it's even because of their natural temperament. They are covered. Okay, you will never come into that family and say this is a witch, this is a wizard. In fact, when you look at them, they are the most innocent looking if possible. They are the most church going if possible. They are the most active in church, president of here and there. Everything they do, they always even carrying their rosary, praying, this and that. Covert, underground, you won't even know. But when you now come close, a witch can never hide. They have witchcraft temperaments, but codedly, you will never know that they have gone far in initiations, in joining covens, and making their witch promise of I will always be a witch, I will remain a witch, I will die a witch, this and that, whatever. They have taken their witchcraft oath, but you will never know. Another shade of household enemy is the greedy narcissist. The word narcissism or narcissist is a mental personality disorder. In Nigeria, let me talk about home here. We are not quite keen about our mental health. When you talk about mental, it's just about the mad people already roving on the street. They don't know that your mental health, depression, frustration, anger, when taken out of proportion, are traces of mental disorder, behavioral disorder. For whatever reason, let's not delve into the origin or the causes of it. But a narcissist is an household enemy. If you understand who a narcissist is, I'll give you the chance to go and research it by yourself. Most homes, most families have narcissists in their midst, and they work hand in hand. If you remember the video I did about, the one I talked about the witches in my father's house, in your father's house, where I try to trace the origin of witchcraft. There can never be that sustenance without the characteristics or temperament of narcissism. Well, narcissism in psychology is a personality disorder, but when you look at how difficult it is for a narcissist to change because of their high ego, because of their high pride, because they are never going to think about another person, it's all about them. They will never tell you sorry. It's all about their selfish interest. If you check that kind of personality, then which human being is there on earth that you will look at, you say that there is no hope for them to be better? Only the narcissistic personality disorder has proven so difficult for psychologists. Go and Google it by yourself. Go and do the research. Okay? The greedy narcissist present in any home is another shade of household enemy. They all work hand in hand to bring others down that are not like them. In such homes, there is nothing like peace, there is nothing like togetherness, there is nothing like oneness, because the narcissist works all about himself, his selfish interest. All right, it's just that if you remember how I traced the origin of witchcraft, maybe the narcissist is not the totem of the witchcraft practice in that home. If he or she is a totem, then it is a double package. But where the narcissist is not like totemed or totemed, then he will just continue exhibiting the narcissistic personality disorder to frustrate every other member of that family. That is witchcraft, a household enemy. Another shade of household enemy is the malicious delinquent. You know, in my language, we say that ofunne na amu mana buru ofu Chineke. Ị nwekwara ike zụọ ụmụ gị niile in the same way, expose them to the same thing. You can raise your children with the same training, with the same morals, raise them by the same standard, the same environment, okay? But each will still come out what God or what anointing or what temperament disposes them to be. And you can never remove the fact that at some point in time, children must disperse, go to different schools. Some go to boarding schools, some go to higher institution, exposure. That is now the true test of the family training you've given them. So everybody will go into the world there and exhibit what you've trained them, but supported by their own temperament. Perhaps all the while when they're under your tutelage at home, they were just being quiet or grudgingly obedient. Now when they leave home, it becomes like bird let out of the cage. So they do all sorts of things that are out of line with how you raise them. That is why in most homes you must find a delinquent. Yes, when it comes to character, when it comes to morals, when it comes to home training, there is hardly any home that you will see that this person is like the worst of all the siblings, despite that they were raised or given brought into this world by the same parent. So the malicious delinquent in any family is a household enemy, because his or her character is not up to the standard, up to the level of his or her siblings. So there is this hidden malice they harbor within them. They may not express it. Some of them can even express it, okay? But a malicious delinquent in any home is a household enemy. Now, the next shade of household enemies is a silent gossip. Gossip. What a oxymoron, placing side by side two opposing things. Why do I call it an oxymoron? Because the gossip can never be silent. The gossip is always talking. Silent gossip meaning underground gossip, just like the covert witch, underground, going behind backs of siblings, knocking people's heads together. There is no confidence, there's no loyalty. His or her job is to knock this sibling and this sibling heads together. Okay, this is a household enemy. Last but not the least is the fortune tracker or overt witch. Yes, the one that you can look at their character, the way they behave with their aggressions and wickedness. You see that they're not even hiding their traces of witchcraft or even the witchcraft temperament. Okay, they're the ones that they don't mind. Just the flip side of covert witch. Okay, the fortune hunter is the overt witch. They don't mind displaying it. Let everybody know they don't care. Okay. These are household enemies. Remember, they live with you there in your home, in your father's house, in your mother's house. You may be siblings, you may be uncles, you may be aunts, you may be nieces and nephews, but this is what they are. And if you're not careful, they will keep disrupting your life, your destiny, your plans, your project, your future. Okay, so you need to know who you are surrounded with and walk accordingly, according to how wisdom and the Spirit of God will lead you. You'll be able to manage these digressions, these differences, these divergences in your home. He who denies his past is condemned to relive it, to keep repeating it. Okay, most of us want to deny that these things don't exist, or you want to give it a casual dismissal that it is nothing. Look, all these things are not normal. All of these things shouldn't be denied or swept under the carpet. There are spiritual implications behind these behaviors. So you have to stand on your ground. Be wise and careful to know and understand the ground you're standing on in your family. Finally, the essence of this video is not to bring division or problems with you, your siblings, your dad, your uncle, this and that, but it is just to steal or lend you some wisdom you put there at the back of your mind while you keep marching on in life. Okay, some of them are happy to know that you don't know, and they thrive to know that you don't know anything about them, but you need to know. That is one of the ways to disarm them. Okay, knowledge is power. That doesn't mean you go and act all out with what you already know. No, you can know and still quietly be watching them, but it will help you to be careful and control and plan on your own life, knowing that these people are really household enemies. They're not there for you. Go on thinking you have people in your home when all you have is household enemies. That is the essence of this knowledge. Keep it there, then be guided properly. Okay, these things are real. Household enemies, they are real. The earlier you sit up to that reality, the better for you. But if you like, continue living in ignorance and sweeping it underground. They are happy to know that you don't believe they are there. Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you also learned something today. Let me hear you in the comment.